overthinking. I think we need more thinking.
Julian Strawther was great, y'all. He was amazing. I absolutely was rocking with Julian Strawther. I've been rocking with him. I'm very glad that he has had a great bounce back season, I would call it. I wouldn't call it an amazing season overall because if you remember the first half, he was terrible. It was kind of more or less when the Nuggets needed him to be great was when he became great.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
And over the shoulder, no looker.
What is up, everyone? How's it going? I'm CS Chandler here for another take of Nuggets basketball. 11 wins, y'all. 11 wins. Oh, it feels good. It feels good to have that winning streak continue, especially when that winning streak includes Spurs and OKC. Let's go. I don't care what the OKC did to allow us to get this win. A win's a win. Let's go. Now, so there's 2 games left. Today was the second to last game, right? And so the race for the end of the season seeding positions is still very, very tight amongst most of the league. I believe there is there's still 15 undecided positions or seeding positions left that have yet to be determined and are coming down to the wire. The last, probably a lot more of them are coming down to the last game of the season. OKC obviously already wrapped up the first seed. So I already said this a few months ago that OKC was going to be resting everyone come this time. Sure enough, they rested everyone except for Lou Dort. Dirty Lou Dort. We're going to get to him, but he played. I have a feeling that it was mostly because they want to try to get him into all NBA defensive team. So he played, I think, like 20 minutes and then checked out, didn't come back. So definitely a little bit of intentionally losing here from OKC, but then also at the same time getting their guys who they need to get the awards, their minutes and everything. But the big thing for me, so the Lakers are also very hot on the Nuggets' heels. With these last 2 games, each game is very important to the Nuggets' 3rd seed hopes. If you don't know already, Lakers have the tanking Utah Jazz as their last game of the season. I don't know how much more of a layup you can ask for than that. And so, just real quick too, awesome fact is that there was like the tanking Super Bowl tonight in the NBA with the Grizzlies versus the Jazz. Jazz blew the Grizzlies out. There was like several triple doubles, 1 quadruple double, including 10 turnovers. Like just disastrous. Everything you thought that a tanking game would have been about. And so we got that, but I was kind of holding off doing this video just in hopes that the Lakers and Suns game would wrap up. But now it's actually kind of looking more or less like the Lakers are going to win tonight. I was hoping that the Suns would pull out just a surprise win against them. And at first it was kind of looking like there was some kind of, possibility. But going into that game, Suns already decided that they were going to rest Devin Booker and Goodwin, which meant that they were already kind of planning for a loss. They already have solidified the 7th seed. They can't get the 6th seed, and they can't drop to the 8th seed. They've gone enough both ways. So if they lose tonight, then they're sticking with the 7th seed regardless. So there's a little bit of them just kind of conceding that fact. The Lakers, however, are 1 game behind us. With the win tonight against OKC, that brought us to a game and a half. If we had lost to OKC, we would be down just a half a game to them, and they're most likely going to win, so that would mean that they would tie records with the Nuggets. And if you remember, the Lakers are one of the few teams in the West who have the tiebreaker against us. So this is where those kind of situations are very important. Now that the Nuggets, they kept hope alive a little bit tonight by getting a win over OKC. But Lakers most likely will win, which means that the game in San Antonio is that much more important. So the injury list going into this game, Nuggets rested the entire starting lineup. Plus Peyton Watson and Spencer Jones. I already told you all, those two aren't playing the rest of the season. I already told you all. And here we are. Like, I know they try to keep you interested in like, oh, well, you know, it's day to day or whatever. They might play one more game or whatever before the end of the season. They're not playing, okay? They're resting until the playoffs. And then even then, I'm not confident we're going to see Peyton Watson minutes in the first game of the first round. I'm not confident. And I'm definitely not confident that we're gonna get Spencer Jones minutes. We're most likely, Spencer Jones is probably going to be out for a full month. Like, there's most likely a chance that he might not even play the first round. So the Nuggets got to deal with that. But to rest your entire starting lineup tonight. Now, I know that there are several people who have a different opinion on this. And I respect that opinion. It is the opinion that apparently the Denver Nuggets hold as well. But here's where I stand on this. I do care about the third seed. I care about it a lot. And I do think that the Nuggets should make as much of an effort to hold on to that third seed as much as possible. They should have, held on to that second seed, but they made a lot of disastrous losses in the second half of the season that landed us in at least the third seed position. But here we are. So third seed is important. Let's set the seeding aside. Tonight was the fan appreciation night, the last home game of the season. And you decide to rest all your starters. What does that tell the fans? What does that tell us? All the people who purchased the tickets. And I know David Adelman, before the game started, giving all these excuses of how beaten up the guys are. My response to that is, okay, if they are that beaten up, why didn't you rest them against the tanking Grizzlies then? Huh? Why didn't we get that? Rest them then so you can play them today. That's my big point. And I've already gotten responses on X for my comments on this and everything. And it's really funny that so many people find it like okay to just drop their comment and then walk out of the conversation. Been like, no, I don't want to debate. I'm going to leave my one comment and then I'm not going to debate. Like, I already put my comment out there to welcome conversation. And so if you're going to have conversation with me, let's have this conversation. Don't shut the door on the conversation after one comment and then walk away. We're not going to do that. We're not going to let you take the ball and go. Like, you either actually have an even conversation here or you don't comment at all. That's where I'm at with that. But to the point here, the point, I get they are trying to rest up for a strong playoff run. My point, though, is you could have rested them against the Grizzlies and you didn't, because you also thought that was an important game. And if that's an important game, you should damn well think that tonight was an important game. More important than just a streak or a seeding position. It was for the fans. The last home game of the regular season. Last season, we got it. I was so grateful that I went to that game, the last game of last season at home against the Grizzlies, oddly enough. And luckily, Jamal Murray played, Michael Porter Jr. played, Roddy played, Jokic played, Aaron Gordon played. Like, they all played on that game. I was very thankful for that. And I do not blame them playing on that game for later stretches down the playoff season with injuries there to Michael Porter Jr., to Aaron Gordon, to Brody. I don't blame any of those on that one game because it wasn't on that one game. Like, Michael Porter Jr.'s injury last season was 100% his own doing when he turned over the ball and then had to dive for it afterwards, injuring his shoulder. that was his own doing. That wasn't any previous game, you know. And then Aaron Gordon was already banged up to begin with. And so I don't really blame one game for that. That was more of the season itself. And if you had rested Aaron Gordon last season for the last home game of the year, you would have still gotten injuries from him in the 7th game of round 2. So I don't give me the, oh, well, they're banged up and they need to rest one day. Okay, if they needed to rest one day, you had a much better game against the Grizzlies to have sat them on than this game. So that just really heated me up when I saw that. I was just like, are you kidding me? This is so much more than just seeding. You gotta play the guys. Everyone needs to play. For the last game of the season, everyone needs to play. That was really unprofessional, I feel like, of the Nuggets to do that. Again, I get that they're trying to rest guys. I get that point. So anyone who wants to come at me with, they're just resting them for the playoffs, I get it. But you had another game that you could have rested them on. You didn't have to rest them on this game. I don't see a difference in resting them on that game versus this game. The only difference to me is that this was the last game of the season as opposed to that game against a tanking team. OKC's not a tanking team. And it was just by good effort tonight that the Nuggets bench took on their bench and we overpowered them. So, I mean, there's also a little bit of the fact that I do kind of feel like OKC doesn't want the Nuggets in their bracket, and I get it. The Nuggets are their biggest worry for a defending champion, you know, for them to have a second hopes for a second championship. But it bothers me that the Nuggets rested the guys tonight, because then at the same time, the Nuggets or Jokic still needs to play one game. He still needs to play one game. So if you're going to rest them for the playoffs, why not rest them in the very last game of the season? The one on the road against San Antonio. What makes that more important than this game? The one against OKC at home for fan appreciation night. Like, that's what I don't get. Anyone who is saying like, oh, they need to rest him for the playoff season, he still has to play one game. Why not play him at home versus on the road? I don't get that. And so it was very heated. Let me know in the comments what you feel, and I would be definitely welcoming, you know, a honest conversation here. If you can keep it honest, if you're going to take your ball and go home after commenting, then please don't comment. But if you want to actually engage in an actual conversation about this, I welcome it. Leave your comments in the comment box below. But so with them all out, you got the starting lineup. Tyus Jones got his one and only chance at starting for the Nuggets tonight. Then you had Tim Hardaway Jr., Brucey B., Julian Strawther, and Big Val. They were wearing their Skyline City jerseys, the black ones, City Edition. And then the OKC Dust Bunnies were wearing their white jerseys. And like I said already, Nuggets got the win. Let's go. 11 win streak. Come on now. Longest win streak in the Jokic era. Final score, 127-107. Let's go, Nuggets. Now, what happened in this game? Well, you know, we're going to break it down real quick for you. So, the Nuggets controlled the tip, and Tim Hardaway Jr. missed the first attempt. It wasn't a great start, but, you know, it was, I felt like the nerves needed to be settled a little bit for the Nuggets. So, Tim Hardaway Jr. misses the first attempt, and Big Val on a chance gets fouled and goes to the line. Both teams earned their first points off of fouls. That's the interesting part of this game. So they both got their fouls or their points via the foul line. Like I said, Lou Dort was the only OKC starter that played in this game. You could say that Tim Hardaway Jr. is the only starter for the Nuggets that played because he is Sixth Man of the Year. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. He is the Sixth Man of the Year. But Wiggins sinks a 3 for the first field goal of the game. Nuggets are actually playing a lot harder than you would expected them to have played. And they gain a 5-point lead quickly. And then it's based off of what I saw was a lot of crashing the glass and boxing out, something that we don't typically see the Nuggets doing a lot. So they managed to control the rebounds, which allows them to outscore the Thunder in that first quarter 34-27. Second quarter, the Nuggets started the quarter off with a lineup of Strawther, Pickett, Roddy, David Roddy, our newly acquired player here, who, if you're asking me, is so much better than Hunter Tyson. I like Hunter Tyson for just being a Nugget, but dude could not hit a bucket to save his life. I mean, he put up every shot thinking that was going to go in, and everyone didn't. But that effort is the same kind of effort we're seeing in Roddy, although Roddy is actually gaining points off of turnovers from this. So we had Roddy, we had Curtis Jones, and then Zeke Naji got some minutes tonight. Curtis Jones with a midi gets the first bucket of the quarter, and then Nuggets' energy and offense stays locked in early into the quarter, something that we didn't expect to happen. Typically that lull starts to happen. They kept the energy, really awesome. Strawther on a fast break gets fouled and on the layup, and then OKC challenges the call, unsuccessful. Rare unsuccessful challenge for Dagnott. And then Strawther goes to the line, makes the buckets, and then Nuggets start putting up shots without purpose. This happened multiple times, especially in the second half of the game, but they started putting up these buckets without really planning. They just kind of got the rebound, headed over to the other side, and then just put up the ball wherever they were, rather than waiting for the other guys to get back, to get some kind of playmaking going on. They were just putting up bricks, essentially. That was really kind of annoying at some point. But then we got this dirty play that I was telling you eventually that we were going to talk about Dort. This is the part. Got a dirty play from Dort. That ends with him elbowing Roddy in the face on a rebound from a missed and one shot from Tim Hardaway Jr. They would review it and deem it a normal basketball play. And I don't care what you say, an elbow to the face is not a normal basketball play. When he came down intentionally hitting Roddy in the nose, probably broke his nose. He was bleeding profusely, and so he had to sit out a little bit. Still would come back in and play awesome minutes. But even Strawther tonight in his press conference was flat out asked if Lu Dort is dirty. I mean, I don't know if that's fair to ask a player if he thinks another player is dirty. 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to say no, just because of, sportsmanship and everything, because some have it more than others. Dort. So the fact that they deemed that normal basketball play, that's just the unfortunate reality that the OKC is gifted with. They can play that kind of dirtiness, and it's deemed a normal basketball play. Like, if you had to review it, chances are, except for later on when Zeke gets reviewed for a foul. We'll get into that. But here in this, Dort gets away with a dirty play. Nuggets then passing becomes very spotty, and with no real purpose, leads to turnovers. And then Julian Strawther, playing very good defense, forces turnovers and dead balls, kept the Nuggets alive, really. Julian Strawther was the key to the Nuggets' success in that first half, really. Outscores the Dust Bunnies 25-24 and takes a lead of 59-51 into the half. So I'm telling you, last episode I was already saying that Julian Strawther is the key. This is a huge point to my larger point. Is just huge evidence right there. So third quarter, OKC with the ball. Dort gets a layup for the first points of the first quarter, like a straight to the rim kind of driving layup there. Big Val then on the other end gets the Nuggets on the board. And there's one thing that I noticed the entire game that I don't think has been talked about enough and should be. Dort never defended Big Val. He didn't even go near him. That says something. You don't want that smoke. That's what Dort was telling me when I was watching him, was that he did not want that Lithuanian big man smoke. Because, to be frank, Big Val is going to run you over. He is like a foot taller than Dort, and I don't care how dirty Dort is. Big Val is not afraid to get gritty. He is not the nice Jokic who will just go and talk to you. No, you are going to get pushed back and knocked on your ass if you try to come after Big Val. So Dort definitely showed how terrified he was of Big Val. He did not cover him at all. This entire game, he didn't cover him. He didn't defend him. He didn't even try to double team with someone else on him. He stayed away from Big Val. That was interesting to me. Nuggets then in this third quarter displayed very, very low energy. And that allowed them to get into this lull that gave up points on late switches. Bad passing continues to plague the Nuggets. And then Zeke gets a big wake-up call when he gets dunked on by Carlson. So then, on the return, he hard fouls Carlson. This would get reviewed as well for a flagrant foul. And when you look at the play, he gets all ball. It shouldn't have been even a call to foul. Like, I wish that Adelman would have called a timeout to challenge that, because that was all ball. It wouldn't have been a foul. And yet they reviewed that one because I guess they had to keep it even, that they reviewed Dort, so they got reviewed this one. But anyone who saw it knew already that it was not a flagrant foul. It was if anything, if it was a foul, it was a harder foul, but he barely touched him anyways. So it was mainly all ball, and then it was Carlson overreacting like OKC has been taught to do that led to that. Roddy didn't over-exaggerate. Like, there was bleeding coming from his nose. You can't fake that. So there's a difference there. So Zeke then, lets Carlson know, like, yeah, you might have dunked on me, but I'm gonna take you out on this play. And then on the other end, hits a 3-point shot on Carlson. So Zeke getting into a little bit of his villain phase now. OKC outscored Nuggets in that quarter, 34-31. Fourth quarter, Nuggets started off with a lineup of Pickett, Roddy, Big Val, Strawther, and Curtis Jones. I really enjoyed watching Curtis Jones play tonight. He got his first points in Ball Arena. I didn't know that. I thought he had gotten points already in Ball Arena. I know that he had already gotten NBA points. I think he got his first points in like Toronto or something like that. But his first points in Ball Arena, that's something. That's awesome. Congratulations, Curtis Jones. I like Curtis Jones. I think he should stay. I'm excited to see him in Summer League. Hopefully, he plays some time there as well. I think he's a up and coming Nugget for sure. So he got some minutes, and Roddy with a dunk gets the Nuggets to start off the quarter with the first bucket of the quarter. He set the tone. Definitely, Roddy set the tone in the fourth quarter. But then it became a shooting contest between both teams, just trading buckets one after another. Finally, the Nuggets being left open for threes. OKC was literally leaving the Nuggets open for threes. I don't know if that was disrespect, thinking that they weren't going to make them, or if they just wanted them to make them so that they wouldn't win. I don't know, but you could determine that the way you want. Roddy then, for a sidestep three, gets the bounce and the bucket to get the Nuggets first to 100. Like, that thing bounced. It was almost very similar to the Kawhi bounce. Like, it bounced up and then drops. Place got lit up by it. It was awesome. Nuggets then start off the quarter with a 21-5 run. 21-5 against OKC to get a 21-point lead. Then the Nuggets start to put up careless shots. And again, we got this half-assed energy, bricking shots and everything. They stop defending OKC and allow them to chip the lead down to 12. Finally, Roddy ends that with another made three. Telling you, the fourth quarter was all Roddy. Loved David Roddy, man. He was awesome. Hot Rod, as I like to call him. Hot Rod. Roddy buckets is what I call him. Roddy then gives life to the defensive end, getting some stops for the Nuggets, and allows the Nuggets to outscore the Thunder 37-22 in that quarter, and they win once again. Your final score, 127-107. Let's go Nuggets. Loved that. I absolutely loved seeing Roddy, man. He was such a baller tonight. Really fun to watch. And I was really hoping that a lot of other players would have showed up more, especially KJ Simpson and even Tim Hardaway Jr. I would have expected to show up more. Tyus Jones did exactly how I thought Tyus Jones would do. He did go 100% from three with only 3 shots made from three, though. But other than that, I was not impressed with Tyus Jones. I definitely want to see more. Otherwise, I just don't understand why he's getting played more minutes than some of the other players on the roster here. But the Nuggets needed this win. I don't care what anyone says. They needed to keep the hopes alive for clinching that 3rd seed. The Lakers have the easiest remaining schedule with a layup of a last game with one of the worst tanking teams in the Utah Jazz. If it's inevitable that the Nuggets will face OKC in the playoffs, then I would much rather get the revenge round 1 against the Timberwolves first and then meet OKC in the Western Conference Finals, who may be more banged up come the Western Conference Finals than most think. They do most likely will play the Houston Rockets, who I will give a lot more credit than most people will. With the win tonight, the Nuggets got one step closer to clinching that 3rd seed. Nuggets now need to rest up and prepare for the last test of the season against the Spurs in San Antonio. Nuggets need to get that win to keep this 3rd seed alive, but let me know in the comments what you think. Let's get into the stats here. Nuggets, with the Strawther, with Julian Strawther here, he played 33 minutes tonight, got 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He was 8 for 17 from field, 4 for 7 from 3, 2 for 2 in free throws, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, was a plus 10. Julian Strawther was great, y'all. He was amazing. I absolutely was rocking with Julian Strawther. I've been rocking with him. I'm very glad that he has had a great, bounce back season, I would call it. I wouldn't call it an amazing season overall because if you remember the first half, he was terrible. It was kind of more or less when the Nuggets needed him to be great was when he became great. It was during that January terrible month of, basically everyone hurt that he got more minutes. And then P-Watt got hurt, and then he continued to get more minutes and balled out. So he's exactly where he needs to be. And he needs to just be consistent is what he needs to be. Brucey Brown played 25 minutes. He got 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 4 for 9 from field, 2 for 3 and 3, 4 turnovers, 1 personal foul was a plus 7. Again, Brucey Brown is also exactly what you would expect him to be at right now. So I'm not worried about Brucey Brown. I'm not worried about Julian Strawther right now, though the consistency from Julian Strawther is the only thing that I'm looking at from him. And man, if he can keep on putting up that floater, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Big Val, Jonas Valanciunas played 32 minutes tonight, the most amount of minutes of any Nugget. And I'm shocked that I am saying this. If you've been watching my podcast, you know how much I complain about how little minutes Big Val gets. Well, here is the game that I've been wanting. 32 minutes for our backup center, and he gave you a double-double. 23 points, 17 rebounds. This was a monster game for Big Val. I think you definitely play him in the playoffs, and I think you definitely play him against the Spurs. I think he's going to help against the Timberwolves. I think he's going to help against the Thunder. Because, again, he's the only one willing to get gritty for those rebounds. Let's go. He had 4 assists, 2 blocks. He was 9 for 14 from field, 1 for 2 from 3, 4 for 4 in free throws, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a plus 16. Not the highest plus minus of any Nugget. Okay, the second highest though. He did get the most of his rebounds from the defensive end, which is awesome. He also grabbed 6 offensive rebounds there too. A little stat that I don't normally say, but just to clarify, he cleaned up on the defensive side. Beautiful there. Tim Hardaway Jr., 27 minutes, 13 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 for 12 from field, 3 for 9 from 3, 2 for 3 in free throws, 0 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a plus 5. I don't know if you remember, but back in I think it was January, there was a little stretch of 4 games where Tim Hardaway Jr. went cold. And we were just like, okay, when is he going to show back up? I think we're getting back into that a little bit. I think he's starting to slowly creep back out. 13 is better than the last game he put up, but still, I need to get more out of the 6th man of the year than 13 points. And especially shooting 33% from 3, 33% from the field. I need more than that. And so I don't know what's going on. And I don't know if maybe you should have rested him as well then tonight. But, given Deron Holmes some more minutes, because Deron Holmes only got 2 minutes tonight. That's crazy. But Tim Hardaway Jr., 13 points there. A lot better than Tyus Jones, I'll say that much. Tyus Jones, 23 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 for 6 from field, 3 for 3 in threes, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a plus 7. I mean, I am just not impressed with Tyus Jones. I'm not. I will support any Nugget as long as they are a Nugget. But man, I want to see Pickett get more of those minutes than Tyus Jones. I don't think Tyus Jones should be getting Pickett's minutes right now, because Pickett in 29 minutes gave you 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 for 11 from field, 3 for 6 from 3. 2 turnovers, 0 personal fouls, was a plus 17. Pickett was the highest plus minus of any Nugget tonight. And yet, Tyus Jones got the starting minutes. I don't know why. I don't get it. Edelman is sometimes crazy. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about was David Roddy here. David Roddy, from the bench in 25 minutes, put up 21 points off the bench. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. I thought he put up more rebounds than that, but okay. 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. He was 8 for 12 from field, 3 for 6 in 3, 2 for 2 in free throws, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a plus 14. I absolutely love David Roddy. Tonight he was amazing. I don't think we've seen enough of David Roddy. For sure, I don't think we've seen enough of him, because I didn't know that he could ball out that much. Some people are saying that he was like that in CSU, and maybe he was. I didn't really pay attention to CSU basketball, so I'm going to be honest about that. But to see this, if he can do this consistently, I think he definitely earned himself some more bench time and possibly a playoff spot. I mean, you got to play someone with that much energy who gives you that much life off the bench. Let's go. Come on now. Play. You just need a player that's willing to play hard, and that's what David Roddy gives you. So overall stats, we had 49 rebounds to their 46. We had 28 assists to their 25. We had 10 steals to their 11. We had 7 blocks to their 1. We shot 50% from field. They shot 42. We shot 48% from 3. They shot 31. We shot 92% from free throws. They shot 75. We shot we had 16 turnovers to their 13. So they definitely beat us with the turnover part there. We had 10 personal fouls. They had 15. I mean, I think that despite the Nuggets losing 3 times to OKC, when you compare Nuggets to OKC with the Lakers to OKC, the Nuggets match up way better against OKC than the Lakers do. Hands down. The only ones that I would say that possibly outmatch OKC would be the Spurs, and that is the one kind of like gift I'll give the Spurs, because the one thing that I've got to say too that has just really been irritating is just how much people are glazing the Spurs right now, assuming that they're going to get out of round one, assuming that they're going to get to the playoff, the Western Conference Finals. They have to go through either. I mean, if the Lakers are the third seed by the end of the season, then yes, I do secede my opinion and say that yes, they will go to the Western Conference Finals. But if the Nuggets are the third seed, I think that it significantly hinders their path to the Western Conference Finals. Plus, we also don't know who they're facing in round one. If they face the Suns or the Trailblazers, it's looking like it's going to be the Trailblazers in there. But if the Clippers manage to get the 8th seed and then they get the 7th seed eventually, then it is quite possible that I think the Clippers are the biggest danger out of the play-in for the Spurs. So I don't think that you can honestly say that the Spurs have an easy pathway at all. And the Nuggets are not going to be just giving up or an easy, round against them. They're going to play hard, and I do believe that could lead to a 7-game series easily, if not maybe 6, but the Nuggets should win that one. On the other end, OKC also has a much more difficult route than most people are giving them. Whoever gets out of the play-in is going to get like I've already said this a couple times now. Whoever gets out of the play-in and faces the Thunders, the Dust Bunnies, in round one, they're going to at least get one win. I'm going to say that right now. They're going to at least get one win. The OKC are not sweeping round one this season. And then you get to round two, it's either going to be most likely the Rockets that they're going to face or the Nuggets, if the Nuggets end up being the 4th seed. And either one of those, I think, would be difficult for them. Now, if they somehow don't have the Nuggets in the second round, the Nuggets, clinch the 3rd seed, Lakers fall to the 4th seed, they take that. If the Lakers are the ones that advance to the second round, then yes. I don't think the Lakers can match up at all. I think they will get swept by OKC. Then they go straight and they get the rest time and everything, and then the Nuggets will have a lot more to deal with. It really just depends on matchups. And I think that the Rockets will give a much more heated battle between those two teams in round two that could extend to 6 or 7 games. And so then you would get a much more depleted OKC. Yes, will be a much more depleted Nuggets for sure, facing the Spurs, but come on. Both teams beating up, I still put my money on the Nuggets getting out of that. So that's just something, to kind of think about. I don't think that a lot of what is being said is giving enough credit to where credit needs to be given. So, and giving too much credit in some parts to certain teams. So, I just wanted to kind of set the record straight for how I feel like we should be looking at these playoffs. But let me just do a quick checkup on our points for the Lakers. Let's see. They won. Lakers beat the Suns 101-73. Man, a near 30-point blowout. Apparently, Grayson Allen went out with an injury. So there's a very good chance that the Suns are not making the playoffs. They'll most likely fall to the whoever is in the 8th seed at the end of the season here. So if I look at the season standings here, the Clippers and Trailblazers are tied, so it will come down to the last game of the season for them for that 8 and 9 seed spot. Golden State is officially the 10th seed. Suns are officially the 7th seed. Minnesota is officially the 6th seed. And the Rockets are officially the 5th seed. So now, and then you got Spurs 2nd and Oklahoma 1st. So it's all coming down to Nuggets and Lakers, Trailblazers and Clippers in the Western Conference here. And then in the Eastern Conference, it is still up in the air. Like, the Hornets are definitely going to be in the play-in. The same with the Miami Heat. They clinched the play-in spot. They're not getting out of there. But coming down to the last game of the season for the Orlando Magic and Toronto Raptors, those two to see who comes out of the play-in and who gets the 6th seed. And then I believe Boston clinched the 2nd seed. Knicks are the 3rd seed. And then the Cavs are the 4th seed, which I'm excited for. I don't know about you all, but I'm actually really excited for that first round matchup, Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know if you saw those last 2 games against them, but they were intense. I'm actually looking forward to that round there. And so then we're going to get the Knicks and whoever comes between the Magic and Raptors, and then we'll see whoever is officially the 7th seed and 8th seed battle it out and come out of there to face the Celtics. So should be a very interesting playoffs. It really is. It's going to be a very interesting playoffs. And, it is what it is, and we're going to have to deal with what the outcome is no matter what. And hopefully the Nuggets have it in them to take out whether it's the Rockets in round 1 or the Timberwolves. Again, I personally want the Timberwolves. And I know that the Timberwolves played everyone tonight. They played Anthony Edwards, except for Gobert. They rested Gobert. But they played Anthony Edwards. They played McDaniels. And they got that win against the Rockets tonight. I'm going to say it again. Those McDaniels and Ant are injured. It is, by just sheer grit that allowed them to play tonight. But there is no way that they're getting through a 4-game series, let alone a 7-game series in round 1 against the Nuggets. It's not happening. They're injured. And so that's going to creep up. Now, you could also say that's very easily said to be with Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones, and Aaron Gordon. Those are the 3 where I'm worried about for round 1. And I think that you easily do. I think you shut AG down for the rest of the season, for sure. I don't think you play him on Sunday. I think that in terms of the rest of the starting lineup, you got to play Jokic because he needs to play one more game to get the awards and also for his contract and everything. Like, that is all very important. So he needs to get that. I think you also play Jamal Murray because, it's the last game. He does well against the Spurs. You got to play. You got to win that matchup. And then I think you rest Christian Brown. I think you play Cam. So those are your 3 main starters: Jokic, Jamal, and Cam. I think you play them, and then in place of AG, you play maybe Zeke Naji, or no, I think you play Zeke Naji. Yeah. I think you play Zeke Naji, and then in place of Christian Brown, you play Bruce Brown. And then for your bench, you definitely should play David Roddy on Sunday. You got to play Julian Strawther. And then you got to play Big Val, Pickett. Deron Holmes needs some minutes. I'm telling you, there is an amazing player inside there. He just needs more minutes. Most of us see it. I wish that Adelman saw it more and that he had more trust in than Deron Holmes. Dude is going to be great and can be great. Don't let him become another Zeke. If you don't play him enough, he is going to become another Zeke. And I don't want that to happen to Deron Holmes. The kid has way too much talent to be just wasted. So, but we'll see on Sunday. Now the big thing about Sunday is that I am going to be traveling, so I'm not going to be available for a podcast. I'm not even going to watch the game, most likely. I'll see, hopefully, if they have it available on the plane as I'm in the air, but I'm not going to be able to watch it, so it means I'm not going to be able to do a podcast about that, which means that this is my last regular season podcast until we start back up for the playoffs, when I'll be back in time for that. With that said, though, still keep an eye on my channel, because I will be dropping more videos. I'm already readying up a lot of videos to, just drop sporadically during the week, so keep an eye on that. I've already gotten a notification or a comment from CKY, my guy, CKY in Italy there, saying that he has had some difficulties getting notifications from my channel. If you are the same, please let me know in the comments if you also are having issues with getting notifications of my recently uploaded videos. And then also just keep an eye out for that. So, but other than that, this will be my last one for about a little over a week. So you won't see my face specifically for a week. Hopefully that's a bad thing for you, not a good thing. But if it is a good thing, then but just keep an eye for those other good stuff, because I really do try to put out good content here and good quality. So hopefully that shows up in these next videos that I post out. So let me know, though. Like them, subscribe, or if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and make sure you share out those videos, because the sharing of the videos really helps my channel. I know the algorithm can only do so much. I really need that help from you, anyone who watches these videos, to help share it out, to get the word across. I've noticed a lot more uptick in viewership when people see my stuff more often. So a little bit of help there would go a long way. But that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it to your friends and family. And if you do feel gracious enough to give me a donation, I'd really appreciate it. The link for my PayPal is in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can head over there and tack on a take about this game, about any of the players on this game. Let me know how you feel about them resting all the starters during Fan Appreciation Night. But then, if you don't want to talk about basketball, you want to talk about another sport, well, we can talk about baseball or whatever sport you want to talk about, or if you want to talk about movies. I am a film professor, so we can talk about movies in your take if you wanted to do that, and then I'd shout you out on the next episode with that donation there, which I'd really appreciate. So, but you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.